Hi! So we're back with Bryan Danielson AEW run, and this is match number 23, and it's his first match teaming with Jon Moxley after their Revolution match and Regal's debut. This match is against the Workhorsemen, some basic indie guys, seem familiar, and yeah, main thing, it's not a long match. Its main thing is just to, one, set up the promo after the match, and two, frankly, just get Moxley and Bryan on the same page. But as a match, I mean, the Workhorsemen, they're fine. The big guy, I don't know, like, I know there's Henry, and I forget the other guy's name. The big guy, he takes a lot. He takes this lariat from Moxley later on that's brutal. He's like, they're using him to just basically show how strong Moxley is, which I kind of like. This Henry guy, he's pretty good. He's a bit of a dick, though, because he starts, like, pushing Bryan's face and shit. It's like, bro, you're in, like, a 5-minute squash match. Fair enough, but no, you're all. No, but genuinely, it is just Bryan and Moxley beating the shit out of the guys. Bryan doing a lot of, arm work, the knees, the kicks straight away, because they rushed him at the start. Moxley just being Moxley, being brutal, pile drivers, stuff, basic brain busters at this point. The kicks, again, I love how, one thing I do like is, they don't seem like a true tag unit yet. They don't, and I think that's the best way to be with these two, is because, frankly, they're not tag guys. They can be in a tag. Moxley was obviously in the Shield, and Bryan's had many tag teams, but it's like, that ain't them. The singles guys, and two of the best singles guys ever. It's the truth, they are. So, why would they change that? I love how Bryan's obviously the more technical guy. Moxley's just this brutal motherfucker. I love that. And obviously they do get the win. They get the win, so to get the big guy back in, and Bryan's dealing with him. He does big kicks to him. Moxley gets him, hits him with a lariat and stuff, and the guy's trying to chop him. Moxley does no sells and gives him one chop. It's like sick. Moxley tags Bryan in while he dives out to take him out. Bryan's dealing with the Henry guy. Kicks, Psycho Knee, and then the finish is obvious label lock. And I really like that. I thought that was very simple. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like the fact that they kept them as singles guys. I do. Like, they're not a tag team. They're a tag team just from, we just need to beat the fuck out of whoever's in front of us, and I love that. Regal's not on commentary. He's outside the ring, and he enters the ring after. So this is the main juice of the segment. Regal cuts a promo. Basically, the crowd, during the match, the crowd just starts chanting, "Thank you, Regal." I thought that was peak. So after the match, Regal's on the mic, and he's getting chants because everyone's happy to see him, as they should. I love William Regal. And then, basically, he goes on to put over Shivani, and basically, he does get teared up, and I do love this. He basically goes, "Shivani, you done a lot for me, more than you could ever," and it's like, real, I really enjoyed that. Basically says Shivani's the only reason he's here, and basically Regal goes on to say the reason he's doing this and why he's in AEW is, one, he just because of his lifestyle, he hasn't got long left, he believes, and he wants to help the younger generation, which is Bryan and Moxley to him. Well, with Bryan and Moxley. And essentially he goes on to tell his story with Bryan, saying, if you only know about Regal now because of Bryan, because they have such a long 21-year history at this point, training. Bryan always gave Regal his credit, and Regal literally says Bryan is the perfect pro wrestler. He's right. And then he also basically says, that's the wrestler I should have been if I didn't have my problems. And Bryan's smirk, it means a lot to him, that, and I love that emotion. Then he goes on, he looks at Moxley, goes, "And you." I love that. And he basically goes on to say Moxley and Regal had like a 10-year, like a year just of pure hell to each other. He said that'll make the devil cry. And basically says Moxley is just an animal, and he just said that's why the tag team works. That Bryan, the perfect pro wrestler, and Moxley, the sadistic nutter that he is, it'll work, and they're inspiring the next generation. He basically goes on to say, I'm obviously not needed in my current or previous employer. I thought that was funny. And he basically just goes on to say the tag team's on notice. The tag division should be scared because of what's going to happen. Yes. And frankly, just puts them over and basically says, you will not like them. They will hurt you. And you will not forget it. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I love that. They don't confirm the name Blackpool Combat Club yet, but it's obviously coming. I like this. You don't see as much else. I just like, the novelty here is just one to basically set up what we're doing post-Revolution with Moxley and Bryan and obviously Regal. So the match was kind of subdued, but the promo from Regal is just to basically shine that Regal's here. And I love that. I think that was a very nice thing to do, and honestly, it was a good thing to do because William Regal is a big deal. Let's not act like he isn't. But from a Bryan and Moxley perspective, I'll never not be happy seeing it, even with what happens later, the brothers in blood, and it's just like, it just breaks my heart seeing them together like this. It's just a horrible feeling knowing what's going to happen. But I think that's what I'm going to love about doing all this, that it's going to hit even more. So either way, I enjoy this. I'm still, even if this is years ago, 2022, I'm still of the novelty that Bryan and Moxley teamed up, because I fucking love this shit. It's Moxley and Bryan, two of the best wrestlers ever. How can you not enjoy that? So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Bryan Danielson Moxley teaming up against the Workhorsemen with William Regal. Not really a match to talk about, to be honest, but the segment's cool, just kind of note we needed to talk about it for the run. But either way, I enjoyed it. It's just, again, it's really novel to see these two team together. What's your thoughts on all of this? What's your thoughts on Bryan Danielson? What's your thoughts on Moxley? What's your thoughts on Regal? Let me know, because we love doing the Bryan stuff.